Good morning, students of Level 8, Campus 9. This is Mashaal. Uh, Today, we're basically continuing from where we left in the last video. Okay, we're basically talking about the War of Independence. Now, we have talked about the causes of the War of Independence and also the events that happened in the War of Independence. Now, up till now, we know that the Britishers were able to, they were able to survive this, and they not only did survive this war of independence, but they actually achieved victory, and they were very brutal in the repercussions that they they wreaked on the Indians. So right in this session we're going to talk about the reasons why war of independence failed. At one point of time it looked like the Britishers would be thrown out of the subcontinent because they had lost a great control over a vast majority like Uttar Pradesh, and everything was lost, even Delhi was lost. So what made them survive this, what made them win this, and take back the control of the lands they lost? So there are basically two reasons are said to be there are basically two reasons why the Britishers were able to survive this war of independence. Now, one is basically the lack of unity. Now, the Indians, although they all revolted simultaneously against the Britishers, and they all had this common anger and grief and frustration regarding the Britishers. However, when they put those feelings into actions, they were not united. Some do say that there were different causes of everyone's anger. For example, the Muslims were trying to get back the Mughal Empire. They were trying to return to the glory of the Mughal Empire, whereas the non-Muslims did not want to, go back to the Mughal Empire. They wanted someone from their own religion to, take control of the reins of the subcontinent. Now, the Hindus or the Sikhs would not support the cause of Mughal Empire to come back into power. Okay, so that's why everyone was fighting for their own reasons. In fact, there were some princes who just were fighting to get back the land that were captured by the Britishers, like the land of Oudh and all that. Also, there is said to be many provinces, many areas were once captured by the same troops who were now fighting against the Britishers. Now, these areas such as Sindh and Punjab, they were captured by the Indian sepoys. So they were not willing to support them, as they claimed that you were the one who forced us to surrender against the Britishers. Now we would not join your cause. In fact, there were some rulers who were given the rule by the Britishers themselves, and they could not afford the Britishers to lose the subcontinent, because if they went out of the subcontinent, then the rulers were awarded the rule would be taken out as well. In fact, there was this ruler of Kashmir who had provided 2,000 troops to the Britishers so that they can take back control and that he can remain in power. Okay, so that was one of the reasons that there was lack of unity. And there wasn't a singular ruler who would basically make them all cooperate against one another and lead the attack as one. Another point was basically the British strength. It is said the British were perhaps too powerful for the Indians to be taken out. They were scientifically, they were more advanced. They were technically more savvy. They knew how to divide and rule. They were willing to compromise with some rulers so that they can take back the lands from others. For example, some rulers, they would go and they would say, why are you fighting? And they would say, because you have our land. And they would say, okay, you can take back your land. Now, is there any other cause for you to fight against us? And they would say no. So they would say, all right, so then you can leave this war. And then through this, they were basically minimizing the opponents that they would have to face. And finally, they were able to deal with whatever opponents that remained. And so they were able to basically, defeat those who were resisting them, who were opposing them. So in the end, it is said to be the British strength was just too powerful for the Indians to manage. So these are the two reasons why War of Independence failed. This is it for today's video. I hope you've understood it. Again, if you have any questions, any concerns, you can always get back to me. All right, thank you everyone, take care. Allah Hafiz.